Future Talk. This is Future Talk
with Omnial Saleh and Hani Balkis.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Future Talk right here on Pulse 95. It is me, Hani Balkis, with Omnia Saleh, bringing you everything you need to know about what's happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, today is finally Thursday for those who are working in Sharjah. But today we got a lot of good news and happy news as we are, starting our weekends off, and how Mark Zuckerberg is actually planning to launch NFTs on Instagram.
I've actually been hearing a lot of complaints about Mark Zuckerberg in this past week, especially when it comes to Instagram and the brand new algorithm when it comes to how stories are displayed and which stories are recommended. So we've got lots to share with you in regards to that as well. Coming up on today's show, we're talking all about Tesla and how they are hiking car prices in the US and China, especially after the CEO Elon Musk actually has been warning of inflation pressure. What's that all about, and what are going to be the consequences of such news? We're going to be giving you all those details in just a few moments.
Yes, and Instagram is headlining the news once again, as Instagram has promised parental controls to be arriving in the U.S. What are these parental controls all about, and what is child safety when it does come to Instagram? We're going to be telling you all of that in just a few.
Yes, indeed. In the world of weird tech, we're talking all about rankings and how Apple, Microsoft, and Google are actually ranking when it comes to the competition of who can give the right to repair better. And news have it, they're actually going low on the list. Who is dominating that list? And does this mean people are going to be more inclined to buy products and devices from them? We're going to be giving you all those details in just a bit.
Yes, and Amazon just introduced a bizarre metaverse-like game to train people how to use AWS. We're going to be telling you what AWS is and what is happening in the metaverse, or the metaverse type of world where everyone wants to jump into the trend. We're taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen, but when we come back, we're talking all about Mark Zuckerberg.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Everyone is entering the world of NFTs, and Mark Zuckerberg does not want people on Instagram to be left out anymore, because he is actually speculating that soon enough people will actually be able to buy and sell NFTs simply by logging on the platform.
Yes, now we do know Metaverse, or Meta per se, which is the parent company of Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. What else do they got?
That's it.
Yeah, all right. That's the
You
big
want more?
three. I feel like they own everything now. Now, the Meta CEO did not provide a actually specific date for when these NFTs would drop. Now, we do know that everyone and anyone is on the NFT hype and the NFT rage or craze per se. And Facebook Chief Officer Mark Zuckerberg is planning to let Instagram users mint these NFTs on the social media platform. Now, Zuckerberg did make the announcement at the session at South by Southwest, but did not provide a specific date for when NFTs might drop on Instagram. Now, for the people who actually don't know what an NFT is, they are a digital certificate of ownership of a piece of a digital asset that can be bought or sold.
Yes, indeed. Now, what's exciting about this new update that we are hoping to see very soon on the platform is that one day Mark hopes that us users using the platform will be able to mint the clothes of our digital avatars as NFTs. So a couple of weeks ago, I believe, Mark Zuckerberg went out saying that soon enough we're going to have our own avatars on Instagram, on Facebook. So let's say Hani decides that his avatar will be bald and a businessman, who wears a suit, for example. You can go ahead and, let's say, buy certain NFTs, buy certain suits and have them as an NFT, so you have the ownership. And then let's say a couple of weeks later you got bored with the outfit of your avatar. You can go ahead and mint it, sell it, gain some money out of it, and then buy something else. So it's kind of going to be like a mini... It is the whole metaverse, because Facebook is the one behind the metaverse, but at the same time they're also planning to kind of include other platforms that they own to be within it. Instagram will not be the first major social network with an NFT integration, because earlier this year, Twitter actually introduced a feature that lets some users set an NFT that they own as their very own profile picture. So they are still a little bit late to the game, but better late than never.
Yes, now Meta, or Facebook per se, actually started the metaverse craze. Now the metaverse has been there, but it never had a platform like Facebook has to release it to the public and say, hey, this is the metaverse, this is the future. Are you in or are you not? And NFTs are going to be very, very important in the metaverse, just like cryptocurrency will be very important, where you guys can soon on trade, items or NFTs per se using cryptocurrency. And a lot of games are now implementing, cryptocurrency in it, NFTs in it as well. So we're looking at a very prominent type of, area or ecosystem that will be provided upon us in the coming years. And, so far there has been kind of a little bit of, comments and criticism regarding, the metaverse as of now and how it's not ready yet. But hopefully soon in the coming years or the coming months, we will be seeing more news regarding the metaverse and the development of that. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Are you well versed on the metaverse, or do you have any knowledge of it, or do you have an NFT? Have you bought an NFT? And what does this mean to you? Our text lines are open, ladies and gentlemen, but when we come back, we're talking all about Tesla and how they're hiking car prices in the U.S.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's talk petrol, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a tough topic for you, no?
About benzene. Let's talk about gas prices. Now, we do know that gas prices have been hitting an all-time high, and now they're going back down. Great, amazing. But because of the surge of prices in gas around the U.S., around the world, a lot of people are now more inclined to get an electric vehicle. And when we talk about electric vehicles, what is the number one flagship electric vehicle you think of? Mr. Tesla, Mr. Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk knows that there will be a surge in demands when it does come to Tesla cars, and now all of a sudden he says, hey, we're going to be hiking the prices in the U.S., and China has, said, or Elon Musk has said, that China is warning of an inflation pressure, and China will be having a high rise in inflation. So from now, I'm just going to raise the prices, which to me sounds like a bunch of baloney.
Now, in his defense, he actually came out saying that certain materials that are basically key components of the electric vehicle batteries, one of them being nickel, for example, they're on the rise and their prices are getting hiked. So to him, it only makes sense that the overall price of the car would actually have to increase. The company definitely raised the prices of all of its models in the US and in China a couple of months ago, and now we're looking at a second increase happening this last week. So things are not looking good for people who are planning to buy a Tesla. And I must say, in the past month, I would say I definitely have seen more Tesla cars on the roads because of the increase in gas prices. So it only makes sense that people are more willing to invest in a Tesla car that they can, charge over and over again instead of having to pay for gas for the rest of their lives.
Yes, now, you have a great point. Things are getting more expensive, but nickel, just like, you did mention, has actually fallen 8% to the hit limit. And, it's kind of a chaotic trade going on. So maybe Mr. Elon Musk isn't being so transparent with us. Maybe he knows things that we don't know. Now, meanwhile, a flare-up of COVID cases in China have actually had a lockdown in some cities. I do believe there's a city that has around 19 million on lockdown in China. So obviously that would affect, things, imports and exports regarding China.
Also, semiconductors are actually, they're suffering from a shortage. So it's understandable, but at the same time, I feel like it's just, he sees everyone making more money out of gas, out of whatever. So to him, it's like, okay, I must make more money out of Teslas now that people want to buy them.
Yes, but again, I do believe that, at the end of the day, regardless of the price he used to pay for it, he's still making revenue. He's still making profit. He might lose profit, but he's still making revenue regardless. It just sounds like Mr. Elon Musk is getting a little bit greedy. And he does understand the demand of electric vehicles in 2022 and the rise in electric vehicles in the coming years as well. Now, I have actually debated myself whether or not I would get an electric vehicle.
I knew it.
Yeah, I mean, my tank is getting pretty pricey. So far it's doable, it's manageable at the moment, but as, time goes on, we might see a surge in prices again, and again, it will affect my transportation. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about Tesla. What do you think about Tesla hiking the prices? And would you now consider driving an electric vehicle? 4215, our text lines are open, but we are taking a short break, and when we come back, we're talking all about the gram.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
This news has definitely been exciting a lot of parents to go ahead and allow their children to use Instagram a little bit more safely than they did before, because we all know, especially teenagers nowadays, you can't just tell them, oh, you can't be on social media platforms. They will revolt and they will rebel. But now Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, has come out saying that the promised parental controls are finally arriving to certain countries around the world, and the first one of them being the United States. This is going to be allowing a lot of parents and guardians to kind of keep a watchful eye on what content their children are consuming, or teenagers, I must say, yet at the same time give those teenagers a little bit more freedom to have their own platform without necessarily having their parents asking for the phone every now and then.
Yes, now these controls are being introduced after the Meta-owned social network came under fire for its impact on younger users. Now, there was leaked internal research from the company that did suggest that Instagram use has detrimental effects on mental health for its younger users, and that is, completely true. Now, it does particularly affect teenage girls, and shortly after that research was made public, the company announced it was pausing work on a vision of Instagram that was aimed at children under the age of 13. Now, it also did roll out a feature that did encourage users to take a break from the app after set periods of time. Now, for now, Instagram does say that teens themselves will need to initiate the supervision feature from its app on mobile devices. But in June, it is rolling out the ability for parents and guardians to start the process, although these teens will need to grant permission. Now, we've been talking about, for the longest time, how social media does affect the mental health of young people and adults as well. Now, I'm 100% that students or children should be supervised when it does come to social media networks or online in general, as again, we are looking at, the internet, the world of possibilities. And it's begun since the beginning of time, where we've always said, hey, don't meet strangers online, but now it's kind of like a new thing now to meet people online, collaborate with people online, and these young people are seeing that, and a lot of people are getting married online. So, nowadays it's become a new norm, but how are these children going to adapt to this new norm without parental supervision? And that is where these controls come in.
Yes, indeed. Now, some features that parents have been asking for quite some time are actually also on the way, one of them being the ability for parents to go ahead and set specific times when a teenager can use Instagram. So this is going to be great for those who want to regulate bedtime for their kids so that they can't be on the platform past a specific hour. Instagram's tools are actually a part of a much wider move that Meta, the entire team behind Meta, so Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, are trying to do to offer more support to parents and guardians. So, as we've mentioned, there are a lot of features such as taking breaks from the app, being able to actually see who does your child or teenager follow simply by logging through your own Instagram. So you don't even need to take the Instagram account of the child. You can even see if your child goes ahead and reports any account, which account did they report, and for what reasons. So today they're launching the new Family Center in the United States. It's going to be like a one-stop shop for all the supervision tools that we just talked about across Meta's products, and people can go ahead and find them on their settings. So far, it's only available in the US, but soon enough, it's actually going to be rolled out worldwide, and the UAE will be one of them.
Yes, 4215, let us know your guys' thoughts, but we are jumping straight to the sports headlines, and when we come back, we're talking all about Apple, Microsoft, and Google.
Check this out. Check this out.
Pulse 95.
The big three, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Apple, Microsoft, and Google, and how they have now scored worse than competition in a new right to repair study. Now, the EU has been very vocal about the right to repair and how all of their, citizens should have the right to repair when it does come to their devices and gadgets. Now, we do know that Apple had a problem with the right to repair, but now the EU has forced them to let people repair their products. Now, I personally did not know that Microsoft and Google had this problem, but apparently they do.
I honestly thought Microsoft would actually score high on the list because it doesn't seem like they have very tough regulations when it comes to repairing your phone as a customer. But apparently they do, and their competitors are, they're phone creators that I had hope in them, but I didn't think they'd actually kind of top Microsoft in a way. So Microsoft and Apple's laptops actually scored a D in a study that was done. So they basically received a failing grade, while Samsung came out best of the major tech giants for their smartphones. They received a C, yet Dell, Asus, Lenovo, Acer, and HP all received even higher marks than Samsung. So in my opinion, I thought Samsung would be, the best when it comes to right to repair. But apparently some of the less known companies like Dell, which is usual, Dell and Asus and Lenovo are usually known for their computers, not really the phones. I know they create phones, but did not think they would top the list when it comes to the right to repair.
Yes, and again, we are looking at, the competitors when it does come to Dell, Asus, Lenovo, Acer, and HP all received higher marks for their laptops, while Motorola scored higher for its phones. Now, in order to fix these grade manufacturers, the U.S. PERG Education Fund did partner with iFixit to use French repair scores across 187 devices. Now, when it does come to the laptops, right? We do know that Dell, Asus, Lenovo, Acer, and HP all have the right to repair. Even it dates back to the early 2000s. I had a Dell laptop, I had an HP laptop, and I had an Acer laptop. And all of these three, I used to take it to any, guy who knows his tech, and he used to fix all my laptops for me. No problems, no questions asked.
And you'll even find the parts readily available.
Yes, but when it did come to Apple, you were very limited. You had to order them outside of the country, or you had to take them to Apple themselves. Now, when it does come to Samsung's laptops aren't the greatest to begin with, and they haven't been taking much liftoff when it does come to the laptop era. Now, when Motorola comes in, when it does come for its phones, Motorola is not as well known as it used to be. Now, when we talk about Motorola's, we talk about the flip phones. When we're talking about, the Razr lineup.
I think about the pink phone.
The pink phone, the black one. These were flagship phones for Motorola in the early 2000s. Now, obviously, they have been dethroned from the throne, and Apple and Samsung have taken the throne from Motorola, but at the same time, they are still providing the right to repair to their consumers. So again, we're looking at how, I personally don't feel like it's bad for business, right? Now, Apple still holds the torch when it does come to laptops and phones. Samsung holds the torch when it does come to laptops, when it does come to phones, but Asus, Lenovo, Acer, and HP, and even Dell still do relatively good in the laptop demographic. Now, when it does come to Motorola, even if it scored the top, there is not a big majority who use Motorola phones. I have yet to this day have seen someone who has a Motorola phone.
True. The majority would either have Samsung, Huawei, Apple, not necessarily Motorola. I feel like it's been a while.
Been a fat moment since anyone used it.
Absolutely. Now, the question is, how did companies that scored low on this study actually react to this news? One of them being Apple. So Apple took a mixed stance against this legislation. They came out saying that allowing people to open up and fix their own devices would actually pose a big danger on the quality of the phones and hampering the design of the phone itself. Yet when we look at it, Apple is still actively trying to score better on that list. The latest efforts that they've done, the self-service repair program, allows, any customer to go ahead and buy genuine Apple parts and tools. They'll also get instructions that they need to go ahead and repair their very own phones. So they're trying to kind of reach a middle ground, but I don't think they'll ever be able to top up shops or even manufacturers like Motorola or Lenovo, ASUS, you name it, who have the parts readily available, allow any third party to go ahead and fix the phone. The question is, which side do you fall on? Do you rather have Apple and all these big brands allow users to go ahead and repair the phone themselves, even if that meant changing the design to make it a lot easier for them to do so? Or do you think, the premium side of Apple lies in the fact that only specific people are allowed to fix the phone for you and they all belong to Apple?
Yes, let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. We are taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about a certain company that hasn't been hitting headlines recently, but we got new news for you when it does come to the metaverse. We're talking all about the Amazon, or like I like to call it, the Zon.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
It feels like tech giants want to teach people all about cloud computing and IT skills without people feeling like they're actually sitting in a classroom learning how to code or learning how to solve IT issues. The latest efforts of them all has been one done by Amazon, because recently they've introduced a bizarre metaverse-like game that is training people how to use their AWS Cloud Quest. It's basically an online role-playing game that will help every individual to build cloud computing skills. So as a user, you'd basically be navigating a virtual city, helping people living in that city solve IT issues related to the cloud while earning points for completing simulations as well as puzzles.
Pretty cool if you ask me. Now, Amazon is very well known not only for their e-commerce platform, but for their cloud systems. Now, fun fact, a lot of companies use Amazon Web Services or Amazon Cloud Servicing, and we're looking at the metaverse becoming a new way to teach the youth, the new way to teach, adults as well, and a new way for us to collaborate with each other. Just yesterday, Omni and I were talking about, collaborating with different universities on the metaverse, different doctors, medical doctors on the metaverse. Now, we're looking at how one scenario in the video that was shown, a cartoon man in a hard hat approaches a user and says, "The server running my weather app keeps failing. Can you help me, please?" And again, it goes through a storyline where you help, these avatars or these NPCs per se. And again, we are looking at, Amazon also wanting to tap into the metaverse, as the metaverse is still a charted type of scenario here or area. Because again, so far you have Decentraland, Sandbox, and Facebook's metaverse that are the top three contenders when it does come to metaverse. Well, when it does come to the metaverse, there's actually only a lot of debate on the metaverse. And what is a metaverse? A lot of people are saying games are already metaverses. For example, World of Warcraft is an open world metaverse.
True.
Lost Ark, any game that is MMORPG where you have an avatar and you create it, but the metaverse right now is more of a real life scenario. So, we're looking at Amazon trying to get into that theme, and, I think it's great to teach the youth on how to operate in the metaverse.
Absolutely, and it's also great for those who want to advance their careers if they are starting out in IT or coding, for example, because users would basically be creating their very own avatar, moving through that virtual city, but at the same time, they are basically completing Amazon Web Services simulations and different puzzles. So as they go and as they advance in the game, they'll be able to gain more and more certifications that are officially launched and officially given by Amazon. So it's a great title to have on any person's CV, experience, and it's definitely going to be opening the doors for people to go ahead and start learning and advancing their skills, even if they don't have much experience when it comes to cloud services, because the game teaches you as you go, and it's all based on the concept of edutainment. So you're educating and entertaining all at the same time, end up having fun, but at the same time learning a brand new skill. And I feel like it would be great for even kids to go ahead and join and play this game, because it's as they game and have fun, they're also learning a new skill. The game goes by the name AWS Cloud Quest. It's offered officially by Amazon, so you can go ahead and look it up. And I believe it's a great way to, maybe have some fun this weekend and learn a new skill.
Learn a new skill. That's what we're all about on Future Talk, learning and exploring the world of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, 4215, let us know your guys' thoughts, but this does end our program for the week, but we will be seeing you guys on Monday. right here on Pulse 95. But don't think the shows are done for today or for the week per se. We got shows going on every day, all day, only here on Pulse
95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.